Hi. My bike is getting hot. My Harley is a 2012 Ultra Limited. I get about 50,000 miles on it. And, it's getting up there in age and miles. And I know there's a number of things that I need to address eventually, but the heat is one of the things that, for the most part, is bugging me the most. I'm going to install an oil cooler with a fan, and let's see what happens. I don't intend to teach anybody anything. I just want to take you along and and basically look at what I've done, and any comments are appreciated. And we'll see. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the box and show you what I got. At first glance, it looks like a very good quality product. Um, Seems like I have all the components and everything that I need to do the installation. Looking at the actual uh, cooler, it's well finished. Electrical components are all there, and I'm ready to go ahead and do the installation. First, I start by removing all components, um, and I like to work slow to make sure that everything is done okay. First is the plastic cover of the oil filter, the oil cooler, and right after that, I go into the oil filter, which is a reusable one that I have. I like it a lot. You take it off. Um, Clean it real well at every oil change, and then you put it right back on. That way, you don't have the expense of having to buy a new filter every time you change the oil. Here I'm removing the oil filter adapter nipple with a 7/16 Allen. This one is holding um, the oil filter plate in place. Once that's done, then you can go ahead and remove that plate that is attached right now to the old oil filter. I'm sorry, oil cooler. I'm getting confused with all these words. Okay, and that is right there showing the plate with the hoses attached to the cooler. Looking at the a bike from underneath, I'm going to remove the old oil cooler with T45, Torx 45. There's two bolts that you can reach from underneath and the front. Next, I'm removing the regulator. I'm using a 11 millimeter socket on it. It did work very well. Again, two nuts to remove. Fairly easy. The instructions said to remove it and to unplug it. I thought I was going to be able to just remove it and keep it hanging there. But the wires, especially the one on the right side of the bike, is very short, it's very tight. So I had to actually cut some ties, give myself a little more distance, and I had to unplug it. There was no other way to do it. It was fairly easy process. Here I'm looking at the new oil filter adapter plate. The instructions are very clear on this process. We were supposed to remove 5 bolts with a 5/32 Allen wrench, and separate the two parts as you see in the little video here. And once you have it separated, you're gonna use only. You have to remove one of the big oil hoses out to install the next piece, which is called the street T pipe fitting. You'll see that in the next segment. Installing the stock to jag oil filter nipple. It will be installed with using a 7/8 socket, and the instructions said to tighten the hex until it's flush against the oil filter housing. Cleaning the oil filter area, getting it ready to install the new oil adapter plate. It has a gasket that you have to make sure that it's positioned in the right way. I mean, there's really only one way to do it, and that is right there, as you can see. You have what I did is I installed one bolt first, and then I found a home for the rest. After removing the left side push-on fitting with a 7/16 deep well socket, you can go ahead and install the street T pipe fitting, as you can see in the video, and then install the push-on fitting on it. The instructions and the kit are very clear on this process, so I'm probably gonna make more of a mess trying to explaining it. Installing the anti-rotation device. No, this isn't right. So here I'm attaching the anti-rotation device. I put a finger tie. Before I did that, I installed the second half of the adapter with the pilot bolt here. Here I'm installing some pipe sealant to the automatic fan switch. This one goes installed into the street T pipe fitting that you saw in the previous segment. Working on my bike is a little bit difficult in this area because my bike has the lower fairing and I don't have a lot of space for my hands, but here is all done. Here's a quick segment that has to do with the electrical connection. The manufacturer give you two choices. One is for bikes that are newer with the CAN bus system, they provide a plug, and for older bikes, you can connect, which is what you see right here, to the rear brake switch, which is always hot. So you just have to find which prone is hot and just connect it to it. It's really not a lot to say about this process. It's very self-explanatory, but this is a little view of it. Connected to the automatic fan switch and to the rear brake switch. Right here, I'm going to show you a picture of the plug that they provide so that you see what I'm talking about. This is the plug that Jag provides for newer bikes, and it plugs to the diagnostics part of the bike. For some reason, my bike has a 4-prong connector, so I couldn't use it, and instead I just went to the rear brake switch, which it was very, very easy to do, and I thought it was, they give you plenty of wire to provide that connection. So this is pretty much it. The job is complete. Just some final thoughts on the product. I'm very happy with the product. I think it looks, like I said at the beginning, of a very good quality. Fairly easy to install for anybody that has done any minor type work in your car or your motorcycle. If you know how to turn a wrench, you should be able to do it. Just go easy on it. Make sure that your oil connectors are done properly so you don't have any leaks. Also, make sure that when you do the electrical connections that you're doing hot to hot so that you have power in your switch. After I did it, I went on a trip. I did about 500 miles, and my oil temperature was a lot lower than before. I actually recorded. I have a note right here. I was doing my last recording was 230 degrees after a very hot day of riding the bike throughout Southern California. So it was hot, but the bike ran great. I had no issues whatsoever. Very happy with the product. So that's on the actual product. I had a couple of little questions that I wanted to ask the company Jag to see if they could help me with. I sent them 2 emails and they never responded. They never said anything. I didn't call them on the phone because by the time I waited for their response, I figured out by myself. One had to do with the electrical part and something else that I had at the beginning. But so customer service, not very good. But that's just my experience. That doesn't mean that they're bad company or anything like that. The product is excellent and I'm very happy with it. So good luck if you're doing this project. I hope that this video helped someone to clarify some questions. If you have a question that you want to ask me, since I've done the job, I might be able to help you out. So fire up. Okay. Thank you for your time.